Was Rick Rude as good of an arm wrestler as they say he was?
Yes, he was. And let me tell you a story here. This is another great story. I was a younger kid in Minnesota, and I went ahead and I was into arm wrestling. I was a I went to school in Iowa. I was a champion in Iowa. I was a champion in Nebraska, and so I was in Minnesota. So I entered the Minnesota state tournament. Well, at that time, um, I never knew Rick, and the reason I want to do this one is because the guest referee was going to be Jesse Ventura. So I came all the way to the end, for the final match, and I get up there and Jesse looks. He goes, "Oh, brother, you don't know." With his voice, you don't know who you're gonna get your ass kicked. I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm a pretty good arm wrestler. And of course, I'm a nobody. Rick was big name already, and of course, Jesse, huge name. And out comes Rick. He had that big, the big afro back then. Like he used to wear that stuff. And got up there, arm wrestle, and I beat him. And Jesse looks. He goes, "Who the hell are you?" He just like, what? Where did you come from, man? Because Rick killed everybody except for Scott Norton. Scott Norton is a world champion. You don't beat Scott. But I put Rick down. And the funny thing is, when later down the road, when I came to WWF, I was talking to Rick, and Rick was top at the time, making big money. And we brought it up, and I said, "Rick, how about we go and arm wrestle again?" I said, "I'll arm wrestle my paycheck versus your paycheck for a while." He said, "No, it's okay, man," because he was making the big money at that time. But that's how I met Rick. Was in Minnesota at that arm wrestling show. Another incredible wrestler and that stuff, man. I mean, he knew how to do his thing. He knew how to strut. I mean, all the women in the crowd, they just melted for that guy. They loved that guy. I mean, he looked, I mean, just his looks, the body, everything else, the way he could work, the things he did. I mean, he was, he was perfect. He really was. He had it all, everything.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please help me out and like this video, then click the subscribe and get notifications buttons so you don't miss any of my latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Follow us on Facebook at the Hannibal TV for more live streams and videos. And while you're at it, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the Hannibal TV.